Hello BookTube Nation, I'm Sam here again with Blatantly Books, and today I have for you a very belated May wrap up. I said May. All right, so I'm not gonna really do these in any particular order. I'm just gonna pick them up and share them with you. So I actually did have a really good reading month in May though, so I didn't wanna just pass it by. So the first one here I wanted to talk about was Margaret Atwood's The Penelopiad, and I really like Margaret Atwood's writing. The other two things I read by her, I absolutely loved. I really enjoyed this. It wasn't as strong for me as the other two that I've already read, but I did really enjoy this. This is basically Penelope's story of the Odyssey, and it's like what happens while the whole Odyssey journey is going on, and what she's dealing with, like as far as with the suitors and things like that, and then, you know, what takes place after that. But yeah, I don't want to give away any spoilers, but if you enjoy mythology and you enjoy Margaret Atwood, or if you just want to try Margaret Atwood, this might be a good one if you like mythology, because it's like kind of a shorter, quicker read. It reads almost to me like an epic poem though. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Next is a children's classic. This is Tuck Everlasting by Natalie Babit. And this is one, weirdly enough, I had never really heard of until, I don't know, maybe a couple years ago, maybe not even that long. And I believe that there's been an adaptation done of this. If you know more, let me know down in the comments below. But I really enjoyed this. This is, I think, one of those children's stories that can appeal to readers of all ages. I really like infusing my reading year with children's literature because I find that a lot of times the lessons are still applicable. And I think that it has a sort of, I don't want to say, it's like a sort of whimsy to it, but it's also, it has heavy topics, but they feel less intrusive. Yeah, so I really enjoy children's literature. So this is basically about a young girl, and she is constantly getting in trouble, and she meets this toad in the very beginning of the book, and that carries on through the book at the end. But yeah, it's basically about, there's a spring, and it's on her land, and it has properties. I don't want to give too much away because it is a very slight book, but it has properties in it that could change your life. And it's, you know, it's kind of looking at that theme of, is it a blessing or is it a curse? You know, like there's people who write about that as far as like money and eternal life, and if you could travel back in time. There's all these different things that people look at that theme about, you know, and I found this really interesting. I found it really worthwhile, and I would recommend this if you enjoy children's literature, or if you just kind of want something fast and quick that's fun. Next, I loved this. This is George Gissing's The Odd Woman. Now, I had never read Gissing before. For some reason, I had it in my head that it was going to be a little bit more challenging, I think, than some other classics that I've read, and it wasn't. This is, for me anyway, it was a very easy classic to get into. I loved Gissing's tone. I loved his writing style. I loved his characters. I want to thank Katie and Marissa for hosting the read-along. I will link their videos below discussing the Odd Women wrap-up so that you can go back and watch them if you want, if you decide to read this and give it a chance. But yeah, I just loved this. One of my favorite books of the year so far. But what is it about, right? So it's basically about back in the Victorian period, there were women who, there were too many, right? Let's just point blank. So not every woman could get married, and some ended up being spinsters and things like that. But what happened to the women who wanted to get a job? You could be a companion, you could be a governess. There weren't that many positions to choose from that were considered respectable for their class. So when the typewriter comes out, this is a game changer. And so this book talks about, it's very feminist, and I really enjoyed that. It talks a lot about how the invention of the typewriter gave them another option, and it definitely helped lead the way to women's independence. So yeah, I really, really loved this, if you can't tell, and I would highly recommend it. It is a little dark at parts. It's not a super positive novel, but it is filled with hope, in my opinion. And I think if you enjoy feminist literature, or if you enjoy Victorian literature, I would highly, highly suggest this. Thanks again for hosting the read along, because it was awesome. Okay, next is a YA book I read. That's Wildthorn. This is by Jane Eagland. And I really loved this. Like the first 90% of this had me on the edge of my seat. It was so good. It felt very Victorian to me because there are carriages and corsets, and basically this is about a woman who doesn't fit the typical ideal, and then she is in the way of someone, and next thing you know, she's been committed to an asylum. So there's that. So yeah, so as you can tell, it made me a little angry, but I was rooting for her the whole time. It's also LGBT, and yeah, if you enjoy books that are set in asylums, or you enjoy YA feminist books, I would give this a shot. Next is a buddy read that I did with my mom. Hi, Mom. This is Lisa Jewell's The Family Upstairs. Neither one of us had read Lisa Jewell before, and we both enjoyed this. It wasn't perfect, but I'm a total chicken, and if you're trying to get into thrillers, but you don't really like being scared, I know that sounds weird, right? But yeah, if you're afraid to try thrillers because you're worried about how gory they would be or anything like that, this might be a good one to start with. It's definitely got family drama in it. And so basically, what is this about? It's about a young woman, and when she comes of age, she inherits this old house that comes with lots of baggage. So, and then she goes on to discover her story from there. But yeah, this was enjoyable. And I think if you're trying to, just get into thrillers, if you haven't read a lot of them, or suspense, I would give this a shot. And then I loved this one. This is Lucy Foley's The Guest List. This really I've only read one Agatha Christie short story. I know, shame on me. But I like that kind of older, like Elizabeth Sanze Holding is another one of my favorite mystery writers. And this is a classic whodunit tale. It's set on an island in the middle of nowhere. And this is just told from so many different perspectives. And I know a lot of people don't like that. I happen to love it. But I've seen that somebody said that they don't normally enjoy that thing, but they liked it here. I found it really easy to follow, and yeah, I really loved this. So if you're looking for a summer read, I would recommend this one. And another book I just absolutely loved and also broke my heart. This is The Girl with the Lauding Voice by Daré, and this was just beautiful. This is heartbreaking, it's hopeful, it's insightful, it made me angry. It basically tells a story of a little girl who's basically sold into marriage to better her family's situation, and all she really wants is education. Absolutely horrible things this little girl goes through, and the age that it occurs. And now, being a mother, of course, I read this differently than I would have previously as just a young professional. You can see I'm getting kind of emotional talking about it. This book is beautiful in so many ways, and it will break you and put you back together. Normally I say who should read it or who might be interested in it. I think for new releases in 2020, I think everybody should read this. It was beautiful, and I highly, highly, highly recommend. So those are all the books that I read for May. As you can see, I had a really good reading month. I do have all my June books too to go over with you, and I had some other videos planned that I may not get a chance to get to now, but I do have more things coming. And if you're new, hi, I'm Sam. If you're returning, thank you so much. It is really nice. You know, these videos take a lot of effort and time, and it's nice when people watch them because, you know, otherwise, right? Like I could talk to myself without the camera. But anyway, I just want to let you all know that I really appreciate it. Thanks for being here with me today. Farewell for now. Bye-bye.